Ever wonder what it's like to live forever? Well, in this book, you're going to find out the dark secrets of living forever. All right, so we have the altered carbon, one life, one death. This is the signed edition, so those of you guys who ordered from us, you'll receive a signed edition. I don't think we got the regular edition at all, because that's for noobs. All right, let's go take a look. So watching this TV show, it was really cool. This is going to be a review for those of you guys who have not seen this yet. Who have not read this yet or don't want to get spoiled, be warned, this is a review. But you can check out our first look short or bite-sized view that we'd had somewhere on our YouTube video. So this is this story is about Takashi. I think his last name is Kovac. I don't really remember. But in Altered Carbon, the basic background is you can live forever as long as you have something called a stack. And the stack is like a little tiny chip in the back of your neck that, like, as long as it's intact, you can live forever because it stores your consciousness, your memories, all that good stuff. So you can keep on getting bodies as long as the tag is there. And that's what they call bodies now, is sleeves. So that's really neat. So this story takes place against him. With Takashi, he's basically getting jumped by the police. All these people are following after him. He's been on the run forever. And then he finally got caught and go into prison. And then just like in the TV show, there's like flashbacks and stuff like that, like, 100, 200 something years ago. And the story, for me, I was reading it at like a freaking 12 a.m. So I was like half asleep, but then I read it again this morning before I did the review, and I was like, okay, this is actually really good. So it's a very short story, but it's a pretty fun story as well. You have him getting caught, they're taking his chip saying, fuck you, man. So that's funny. I'm flicking him out because he can't do anything. And what's crazy is now they put the envoy, that's what it's called, like elite soldiers, like the creme de la creme, like, the JPs of the world. Just kidding. The envoy into, like, he put him inside a junkie body. So this is the new sleeve that he's in, and he's a junkie. The sleeve had a lot of drugs in the system and stuff like that. And imagine being in prison, right? So they put him in the, I forgot what it's called, but this is like a black site prison. And basically, you're in here forever. Like, not for your whole life, but forever. Because as soon as your body deteriorates and wears out, they'll just take out your chip and put yourself into a new shitty body. So that's crazy. That's like that's one of the ultimate punishments, right? So you think this is bad? Wait until you get more towards the end. But yeah, so the envoy Takashi, he's basically training the sleeve to become stronger. But it's hard because there's dampening systems inside the cell. So there's like the system, it fries your brain basically. So you can't think, you can't do anything. But since he's an envoy, he had a lot of training. And then as this is going on, you still have 150 years ago, like the flashbacks of Takashi on one of the missions. So in this mission, they're supposed to wipe out a virus, because it's literally a world-ending virus. It could destroy imagine like COVID, but effective. Not like a propaganda. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
So imagine that. But yeah, there's a world-ending virus going on, and they have to like basically kill everybody who has it. Man, woman, children, anybody. There's nobody gonna be left alive. And because they're envoys, they have no emotions. They just listen to what they're told and do what they say. And then you have flashback again to the prison. He gets a daily beating. Even though like he's trained now, he's like, he can't stop getting beat up. He could like fight back. But he's like, no, then they'll know and they'll put me into another body. So then he keeps on having to take shit from the guards and stuff like that as he figures out how to escape, because this place is supposed to be escape proof basically. So every single day, like in the beginning over here, he was doing like 12 push-ups right here. You can see him count, like 12, like 11, 12. Now he's at 600 something sit-ups and stuff like that. Oh man, that's my type of training. That's my warm up, right there. But yeah, so every single day, now that he did his 600 something push-ups, like 666, interesting, right? Now he's like, all right, today's the day to escape. And what happened was, he's taking out his teeth because this is just a flesh body anyways. Whoa. You can do whatever you want. He just pulls out all his teeth, and he uses it to like open the door and do all this other stuff. Since this facility is very old, the door doesn't lock and stuff like that, but he just pretend that, you know, to be conditioned to just take shit and not like know anything. But like he already knew the doors were unlocked and like how to go around places and stuff like that because he's a top assassin, stuff like that. So as he's escaping, walking through, you have another flashback 150 years later. They finally found like the carriers of the virus, and there's a bunch of regular people, children, whoever else, and that's what they're doing right now. They have to move into them and, you know, kill everybody. And then you go back to present time when he's like going to escape, found escape pods, and he found like, you know, different people right here, escape pods right here, and he could see what he looks like with the teeth. He's like, oh I'm not that bad looking. And yeah, so the alarm, basically they found out that he was trying to escape. The alarm went off, and nobody could shoot because they're in space. There's no way to escape because he's in space, and if they shoot, then they just messed up the space system, and everybody will get blown out to out there and die. So it was all hand-to-hand combat, and he finally found one of the guards right here, somewhere. The guard's right here, and just finally killed him. And this was a girl that he was talking to earlier. It was like a redhead. At the very beginning, when he was in prison, and they were talking, like this is all just chat with each other, but you know they can see each other. But it's like, if you ever see me hold up the number 4, I have red hair, stuff like that. So that's her, even though they never met. She's just hiding behind him. So that's the only time you see her, I believe. Maybe she'll be shown in another story. And as that's going on, he finally got the ship and escaped and flew out of the prison. So there's that. And he's like, oh, which body do I want now? Since there's like sleeves in here to take over. And he finally took over this guy. So that's his new body. Very interesting. The interactions, the facial things are funny. And then you have another 150 years ago. You know, this is what's going on. They're killing everybody now. The world's on fire. And so it's 150 years ago. This is one weekend of killing everybody, and this is one weekend of him training. Week 3, him training, killing everybody. Week 5, training, killing everybody back then. So that's all really cool flashback stuff. And then what he did is he's escaping to this planet. This one guy owns the entire planet, and this is his security system. So he's basically going over there to figure out why he wanted to, like, the guy sent those police officers after him anyways. That's why he was in prison. So he's trying to go over there and get answers. And right here, they have the guy who's like, I'm going to shoot you at the sky if you don't turn around. I'm going to give you a 30-second countdown. As you can see, the 30-second countdown. And the guy was like, I'm just going to put on a suit. Takashi was like, yep, you could blow up my ship, but you can't blow me up. So he just put on a little suit and just decided to land on the Earth. The only thing is, how are you going to fall from the sky and then land intact? But, you know, this is like centuries into the future. Maybe they have really good technology.
That's all airbags. It's all marshmallows.
Yeah, they take the impact, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he landed on the planet, and they found out that there's prisoners. Like the main guy lives in a castle somewhere, and he has prisoners. Everybody here is a prisoner. They had to work for him. Sounds like North Korea type of thing. And then this is 150 years ago, and saying like, is this the right thing? This seems wrong. This is not humane, because they said this is a humane thing to do because they would kill a bunch of people. But they were like, did anybody look sick to you? I feel like, you know, this was a setup. You know, so that's 150 years ago. Just remember this page. You know, people starting to think it's a setup. And this is present day when he's just going around just killing all the guards and stuff like that, trying to figure out a way to go inside. So, doing executions. Then you see all these people, like all these just random deformed people right here, but that's on the planet. and there's more guards. So he just popped up, killed, like, you know, was bluffing, saying, hey, if you shoot me, you're all gonna die because I have 10 more envoys behind me, ready to shoot. And basically, he was like, I didn't do all the killing by myself earlier when all the other guards were dying. They're like, what do you want? And they were like, that's a good, you know. I was like, I lied, I killed everybody, type of thing. And then that's when he fought. And then as he's going into the castle to finally meet the main guy, the one that, you know, sent him to prison in the first place, this person was like, don't do it, don't go in there, your life is gonna change. And he was like, go back to your life. And it's like, this is my life. So that's very neat. Then he finally met the guy, and he's like stupid rich. Imagine like Jeff Bezos, but like 100 times more rich. Now owning an entire planet and stuff like that. He has a whole museum of just different artifacts and stuff like that. And then you know, a bunch of artifacts. This is the virus he has as a museum piece as well. The one that killed 1.8 billion people.
Ooh.
And then you had the first skull, the first act of violence. He's called it the Neanderthal. So he's just basically a collector. When you're stupid rich, you have nothing else to do but to collect shit. And I think he's supposed to be like 600 years old. And then you have another flashback 150 years ago. This is after they killed everybody on that city, world, whatever it was. He came by and basically dropped a ball in front of them with this person. I don't know who she is, but yeah. So he dropped the ball, like this is supposed to be some type of virus, but I'll tell you once we get there. Mm-hmm. And then as he's going by, he's like, what's worse than being in prison? Because he's the reason that he's in prison, right? So he was like, after your prison sentence, I was gonna go do this to you. And what he was going to do is just make him live in a deformed body forever. Like you can't really do shit, but just, you know, live in this body and not do anything. So I was like, man, that's the worst.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Man.
Yep. And then, yeah, they keep on talking, like telling all his secret plans and everything that happened. And then as you go into his room, he was like, you know, I was supposed to do this like maybe like 60, 80 years from now, but I guess it has to do now since you're already here. He wasn't expecting him to be here yet. And then we have a big ass deformed monster come out and just start fighting. This guy's supposed to be like the perfect killing machine. But knowing the envoys to Takashi Kovacs, he was like, nah, this is easy. Freaking ripped him up, took out his spine and everything. That was crazy. And Takashi was like, you know what? Now it's just you and me. I'm gonna kill you. And they started fighting, and all that happened was he just stabbed him right in the neck. Right? He just totally got stabbed in the neck and crushed his skull and everything.
Ooh.
And took out his chip. So now he's like supposed to be dead forever, right? But he was like, nah, I'm not dead. I'm back again. Because supposedly he has a bunch of chips, like he has backups to backups and backups to backups. As long as one system is up and running, then he could keep coming back to life. He has so many different bodies of him. I mean, of course, you're a trillionaire. You're going to have backups and backups. But one thing he said is, as long as they're dead. So what he did, I'll show you later, but he was killing all these people, right? And then you have 150 years later, and yeah, so he woke up, like Takashi Kovacs woke up, like all the envoys were just knocked out completely, but Kovacs was not knocked out. He just pretended to be asleep. And what it was supposed to do, the ball that he dropped was supposed to erase the last 48 hours of whatever happened. So the idea was that ball, they'll send the envoys on missions over and over again and just completely wipe their memories like nothing ever happened. That way they can be their ultimate killing machine moving forward. See how it is right here. And then, you know, so they went to go blame, and then down the road they blamed all these envoys on the killing of that
farm.
Yeah, that farm area, because that was all a setup. None of them were sick. They were just setting up that way they can test. They have a reason to test that virus to delete the envoys' memories. So everything was all set up that way they can have a trial and error for testing the ball and then controlling the envoys and making them do their bidding. So that was neat. And then that's what happened. And basically, Kovacs killed all his other clones and just left 2 alive because he can't come back as long as he's alive, right? So what happened was now he just hooked them, you know, and he's going to put them into a new deformed body.
Oh.
So as he did that, he chained them up, and look what happened. Where it is down the road. Oh yeah, here we go. They're talking. Oh yeah, you didn't really see them yet. All right, so yeah, he's talking to all the people saying like, where is his crew? Because he's trying to find his crew, the 36 other people that got captured from him, because you know that's what happened. And then as he's doing that, he's like, you can have this guy as payment for giving me information, because he basically tortured and messed with all the people on the planet.
Yeah.
And so he basically combined 2 of them together, and that way that he can't die, and then he has to just live like this until he's dead, and then gets to come back. And he finally figured out where, like, the people that live here, they were born here, they were born with deformities because he was just experimenting, just trolling everybody. Yeah, so that's messed up. So they're finally going to get revenge on this guy, torture him and stuff like that. And now he's going to go look for his crew. So they before we do that, they said it's called the Scream, the
House of Screams.
Yeah, House of Screams. So it's like okay, I think I know where your people are, but like if the wind is blowing from here, you can hear it. I believe they're at the House of Screams, and if they're there, then they're probably dead. All right. So he went to go on the ship and figure out what it is, and you can hear it. You can hear the screaming. And what it is all his crew into one gigantic deformed body. And it's just all like, all screaming and stuff like that. That's crazy right here. All right? So he took the chip out one at a time and finally put them into new sleeves. And they finally got their crew back together and stuff like that. They're going out to get revenge. And then after going back to their ship, as a crew, he shot one of them. One of the things, he's like, now, that was crazy because he'll have to, what does that say again?
He'll be trapped in there with that sleeve rotting on him.
Yeah. So basically, there's one more left, and now he has a rotting body on him, like stuck on him. That's crazy.
That's right.
Yeah. So that is the end of Alter Caravan, and then there's a bunch of other ones coming out or getting made as well. I felt like this was a really quick, really fun read. It's really dark, and shows you what could happen if you could live forever if people got into the wrong power and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if you liked this review, definitely let me know. If you want to see more of this one, don't forget to leave a comment, push that notification bell, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next video.